Things I find the most annoying about traffic. Listen! You're biking on a very thin, two-sided road, full of landmines called drains and potholes. They make the whole experience like you're biking on the freaking moon.
Is that a human? Guys, I see a human! Let's record this on a 1/4 megapixel camera and upload it to MoonTube.
You see a car coming towards you. And you also hear one behind you looking for the best time to overtake you. Question time. When will the two cars pass each other? A. They wait 2 seconds so they don't have to worry about the road being so thin barely 2 cars can fit next to each other. Not 2 cars and a biker. Or B. Right next to me, forcing me to go over the freaking drain hole so they can pass each other with centimeters from scratching each other. And the aliens are laughing at you. By the way, B is the correct answer. Cyclers hate drivers because many of them are impatient and angry. And even drivers hate other drivers because of that. What a lovely thing traffic is. And drivers hate cyclers because they don't need a driving license to be on the same roads. So they are very unpredictable because chances are they didn't learn every possible traffic rule before learning to ride a bicycle.
And for the last rule, overtaking on pedestrian crossing is not allowed. Since this is the first time you're going to ride bicycles, you can easily fall over if you're not careful. But that's why you have side wheels. And don't play motorbike sounds with your mouth while you're riding the bicycle. It confuses drivers all around you to think there's a motorbike coming from somewhere. Understood?
Vroom, vroom.
Yeah, you already failed. You can't ride a bicycle.
But everyone hates pedestrians who doesn't know where pedestrian crossings are, or just simply decides to cross the road without looking in any direction. Especially drunk people.
I just crossed the road. There wasn't any traffic the last time I crossed it. How dare you drive safely and then stop when someone suddenly walks on the road? You maniac.
Just a second thought on potholes. Yeah, they are annoying, like, they ruin your car and stuff. Just usual, you better avoid those. But when they fix them, they evolve into speed bumps. They ruin your car and stuff, just usual. You better avoid those. Now, I've been riding a bicycle for most of my life and I know that driving cars is basically a series of close calls. That was my first impression when I learned to drive. Everything has to be calculated. And many times, especially on tight roads, there's just an inch from scratching anything. Even more so on freaking European roads where a lot of them is just one lane, but they are two-way roads that were originally made wide enough for horses and carts. But boom, cars happened. And they didn't want to rebuild every settlement with wide enough roads for cars. So it sucks, but there's nothing we can do about it. If there are 2 cars coming from both ways, the cheaper car has to slow down and get aside. I wonder what happens when 2 sport cars would be in that situation. They couldn't. They get stuck on speed bumps. I'm not saying everyone with nice cars are like that, okay? I really admire thick American roads. Ah, they must be so good to drive on. Speaking of driving, I could make a whole video on driving school, but my trainer once gave me a stupid tip that I couldn't forget. You know, because you gotta look to the side before you turn to see if there isn't anyone next to you or trying to overtake you. But he told me this: always steer where you look. Always. But you also gotta look everywhere to have situational awareness, so am I driving correctly, master? If you are just about to have your driving test, then best wishes from my heart. I know that feel. Just a quick tip, I practiced parking in GTA 5. Honestly, One thing my mom told me gave me motivation for the driving test, and it was that if 80-year-old people who can barely see or aren't even tall enough to see out of the car can drive, then why couldn't you? I'm not saying all old people can't drive, but I just love it when I look back in the mirror and someone's up my rear while I'm going with legal limit. Like damn, some young punk really doesn't like their car damaged less to not care about speed limit and follow distance. But actually, I see a steering wheel with a haircut. Isn't that amazing when that happens? But yeah, I know how bad driving can be in some situations, so as a cyclist, when there's a roadblock or a construction site and they close one lane, I usually sign, stop and walk on the sidewalk. Because I just love it when I'm driving and I have to wait for Granny to get through the construction site with half a meter per hour. I know it's not their fault, but come on, they make it look like the only thing that rotates the wheel are the weight of their legs. Which makes cyclers so unpredictable since some of them go really fast and some go really slow. Speaking of people who make driving a pain, once I was parking on a very narrow road where really nothing more than a single car can fit. There were trash cans on the side of the road and on the other side were bricks and ditches. I probably mispronounced that. So I was there with a car, just starting up the engine. Wow, that's exciting. When I saw this old lady walking on the road, because this time there isn't any sidewalk on either side. Freaking European roads, man. So I didn't pay attention to her. But then I noticed that if I wanted to go that way, even if I speeded up, I couldn't go by the bin, because the lady was already close to it. But I was already on the road. Which is fine. I just go slowly until I can finally go. Anytime. I'm patient. Anytime. But then she stops and looks at me angrily. So I pointed at the trash can. Then she turned around, started walking. She took a few more steps and then turned around and looked back at me again. Like, what? Sorry, it's my fault that you and the trash can are closing the road. At the end I had to roll down the window and tell her that I can't fit. Like, lady, what were you thinking I'm going slow for? And what's the thing about traffic that you find the most annoying? I always love reading your crazy stories. Also, there's a new set of the free printable papercraft figures that are made after my YouTube friends and inspirations. I can totally recommend checking out their channels. And speaking of Voraktee, he was the voice of the alien and the teacher in this video. He did such an incredible job. It's totally like some legit cartoon quality voice acting. So thank you so much for helping me. He has a gaming channel and he does a lot of voicing for his videos. Lots of crazy voices. Thank you so much for all the amazing art. I absolutely love them and I would love to frame them on my wall. If I had enough frames. Or enough walls. But hey, I can do that virtually, right? And if you want to make your own figures, I uploaded a template on my Twitter which I'm sharing with you. Link below. So there is another set which wasn't made by me. Ooh, spooky. But how cool they are! And there are many others who didn't share their printable sheet, but they showed them to me. They did so well at making them, which isn't easy at all with just this template. And I didn't expect anyone to make one, actually. So, wow. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to support me... Allergies. See you in the next one and have an easy day.